Good afternoon and welcome back. If you follow me, thank you. And if you're just new to finding my channel, you've found me for a reason. And today is going to be something different. I'm not coming online, so that will be different. Some videos I don't come on face to face anyway, because I'm feeling a bit under the weather, as you can probably hear. And there's a lot going on. And those empaths, we can pick that up. And we can also pick up, you know, everything human, because we're human and, you know, we're divine. And that's what us empaths know. But yeah, I'm not what's the word? Oh, not spirit. I'm susceptible to things. Oh, my cards are mixed up, upside down. Yeah, I've got a lot of upside down cards here. Feeling a bit upside down. Is that the message? Because I sure am. Yeah, feeling a bit under the weather. So, you know, still susceptible. Although I've done a lot of energy work on myself, healing emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. I've gone there, you know. I've gone the full 7 stages of spiritual awakening. Yeah, I've gone from this stage to feeling depleted, to having no energy, life force running through me. This was me 8 years ago, but also many years prior to my spiritual awakening. I was very much depleted. I had no life in me because I had a chronic illness that I was fighting. You know, when you're fighting a chronic illness and you're fighting unseen things. Yeah, I'm going to take this card here because it was upside down. So are you feeling a bit upside down is the message today? Because all my cards are upside down. And this vision quest, this is also upside down. Yeah, this was me. Spiritually awakening 8 years ago, but prior to it also. But the spiritual awakening really did turn my life upside down. Well done, Spirit. Do you know, these cards, the messages are just coming so organically now, and I love it. It's because they're saying I'm letting it flow. Yeah, so they couldn't get through to me as clear as they are now for these messages to come through, because I was depleted. I had no life force energy in me. Didn't have anything left to give, and that is not far-fetched. Yeah, I was this plant, you know, with no, it had not had the right watering, and it had not had the right nourishment. Excuse me if I can't talk today, but yeah, it's affecting all my voice, my throat. I know why. If you caught my last reading, go catch that, because there's reasons why. But yeah, I was depleted. I didn't have no life force energy inside of me. So I went on this long vision quest. But first, everything was upside down to me. It was chaos. Yeah, that was the first card that was upside down. It was chaos. I didn't know what was happening. I just knew I felt so depleted, so lifeless, so tired, exhausted. And then when my spiritual awakening hit, you could times that by 1,000. What's going on? I was in chaos. Yeah. And they're saying, you know, before you can turn the chaos around, you have to heal everything that's stopping from this beautiful plant, which looks like sunflowers. Yeah, sunflower. And, you know, You have to heal everything inside of you, emotionally, mentally, physically. It's all connected, you know. Before you can get out of this chaos, before you can turn this chaos around, you have to do the healing. 7 stages of awakening. Now, if there's 7 sunflowers on this plant, Spirit's having a laugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, before you can go on this vision quest and really understand and turn this vision quest around the right way, you have to go through these 7 stages of awakening. And face your shadows. Now this crow, it's a shadow that's looming over us. Yeah, the 7 stages of awakening are about facing our shadows. Now, these cards are my Shaman cards. They're my vision quest. They're the very, excuse me, they're the very first pack that my son bought me when Spirit was guiding me to tarot. Yeah, and I've just been in the hot tub, you know, to try and relax my achy muscles and to sweat this cold out of me. And I've been listening to these chants again this morning in meditation. I've switched my meditation up, or should I say my spirit guides. Yeah, they turn me all upside down again. From my normal routine, they're having me resting because they're saying they're preparing me for what's to come, the big vision quest, the actual vision quest, not the upside down one, no, the one that I'm fully stood firmly on the ground, rooted. I've got all my energy. Yeah, you know, to go on this journey to become this medicine man, medicine woman that we become. You need all of this inside of you in balance, complete balance. It needs to be healed, it needs to be transformed, it needs to be alchemized. The shadows, you need to go into your shadows and you heal them shadows. You don't eradicate them. No, they exist with you. But for this sunflower to grow, to bloom, you have to do the healing. You have to go into the 7 sunflowers of depletion to bring that sun back to yourself. You can't make this up. Spirit is so clever. So these cards, I've not used these cards in any of my readings since starting online. Now I've been feeling my medicine woman, my shaman, my healer, my medicine woman healer, you know, that side of me, that multidimensional part of me returning. And it's these chants that I'm listening to, and it's the 7 chants, not coincidental. And they're just awakening something up in me. They're stirring something up inside of me, of my multidimensional shaman, is all I can say. Yeah. So, although I'm feeling, 7 of earth, depletion, I'm feeling that at the minute. I know that I've done enough healing. I've faced enough of my shadows. I've faced enough of these depleted sunflowers. And I know that is returning back to me soon. But they want me in rest. Because in this chaos, this journey of chaos that we go on, to face our 7 demons, our seven stages of awakening, we get a bit depleted because you're integrating energy, you know, it's catching up, and we're having upgrades and these moons and these eclipses, and yeah, and if you're an empath and you've done the work, you've retained that knowing, and those feelings have got stronger and stronger, and that connection, you know, to yourself has got stronger and stronger. You start to feel more, You start to hear more, you start to know more. That goes for the moons, the cycles, the upgrades, which is what I'm having at the moment. So my body is under a lot of deep transformation, transmutation, alchemizing. It's under a lot of yeah, also solar. You know, I've got a lot of solar energy coming towards us. Shaman resonance. It's all affecting us, you know, our energy field. And it can make you feel a bit depleted. So if you've got a bit of depletion going on, that could be possibly why. I'm not a doctor. So go see a doctor if you know, you use your own discernment whether you need a doctor or not. But I knew I didn't need a doctor when I started to wake up to these 7 sunflowers depleted. No, I knew I just had to water and nourish my garden and plant new seeds, they're saying. Yeah. Plant new seeds for the sunflowers to grow. Wow. And these cards, I mean, they're my favourite cards because they're my very first tarot that I got. But yeah, plant new seeds. You know, if the old ain't growing and you're not seeing any life out of these sunflowers, they look dry, you know, they look hungry, they're wilting. Yeah, they're saying plant new seeds. Pretty soon you'll have a garden. So, you know, these 2 arrows, they're showing different directions. So in this chaos, which was upside down, you're on a vision quest. When you realise that you're going into these 7 sunflowers of depletion, 7 stages of awakening, you've set off, can't speak today, I couldn't speak yesterday neither, but you've set off on a vision quest. But to really become clear, you know, and to get the clearer view and turn it from upside down to standing upright, you've got to work through this chaos. These 7 stages of awakening are the chaos. When I say chaos, they are chaos with chaos piled on, you know. I've never walked a path as hard, as painful, as frustrating, as beautiful, as transformative as my spiritual awakening, my twin flame awakening. No, pure chaos. And you're upside down for a while, not forever. You're just learning how to plant new seeds and to grow a full garden. A blooming garden this time, you know, not one that's depleted. No, in this chaos, although you feel upside down, you're planting a new garden. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 flowers. You can't make this stuff up. And you saw me shuffle the cards, and how many cards is in this? Yeah. Well, so these sunflowers of depletion during your chaos, your 7 stages of awakening, you facing your shadows, you facing your obstacles, you facing all that's looming above you, you know. Also, seeing things from a different point of view, that change of perspective, you know, bird's eye point of view, looking from a high point of view. Knowing that you don't have to stay in this depletion. No, you've got a choice. And this is where these arrows come in. You have a choice to stay in this depleted sunflower garden, which looks thirsty and looks hungry and deprived of any life force energy. You have a choice to stay there. Or you have a choice to face the chaos that you're feeling. Because you can feel it, you know. When you start off on your journey, your vision quest, although it's upside down, you can feel something under the surface wanting you to water your garden, nourish your garden, plant new seeds. You can feel that. It's like a rumbling under the ground. Yeah, and it's going to cause chaos, because spiritual awakening is chaos. And you're going to have directions to choose. You know, this hand that's coming out of this garden, you've got choices to make. Do you keep pushing through these obstacles? Do you keep facing these shadows? Do you keep healing your wounds, your traumas? All of these sunflowers that have depleted. Do you keep pushing through? Do you make that change and go in the right direction to, you know, fully grow your garden? Wow. My psychic medium gifts are getting another level. Because again, these cards, those in my box of cards, I've got like a basket of, I'll show you. I've got a big basket of cards down here that's never used for like private readings and things like that. Because these are the ones that really, these are my top range cards, let's say. These was what I collected, you know, from the magazines from tarot when I first started to really get into tarot. And in this box was my vision quest, tucked away in this box. But yeah, like your vision quest is tucked away from you for quite a while. Sooner or later, it's time to save this. Brilliant spirit. I can't make this up. So, yeah. So you make a choice when you feel this chaos, this rumbling under the earth. You make a choice. You've got choices to make. Crossroads. Do I stay where I am in this chaos, upside down, feeling something calling me, not quite sure what, or do I go in a different direction? And do I plant new seeds? I know what I did, because I'm speaking of it. I wouldn't be able to speak of it and show others their directions, which to go during this chaos, during their calling of, you know, that rumbling in the earth, as best as I can call it, is calling from inside of you. Something's calling you back to plant new seeds, to grow a new garden. We don't have to stay here. We was never meant to stay here. This is not our true garden, you know. We're so much more than this deplanted is the message in that spirit. Yeah, we've been deplanted than these depleted sunflowers. We're the sun. We are the sun. We are these blooming flowers. We are the rose garden. We are the sun. A lot of suns on these cards. Look. We are the sun. But first, we have to give these sunflowers the sun. They need sun. They need light. They need water. They need the right nourishment. They need love. They need care. They need healing. That's your vision quest. That's this quest. Planting a new garden. You ready for the sun? Beautiful spirit. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Any more? Any more messages? So, you know, yeah, I feel a bit depleted. today. But I've also got fire inside of me, as you could probably hear. That's because, although I feel a bit depleted, I've done enough work on myself, you know, because this is no longer me. Done that work. I've done the 7 stages of awakening. I know which stage I'm at. I'm in the surrender inner union. I have no more of these shadows looming over me. No. They're balanced. So I know that, yeah, I'm feeling a bit these last few days. But I know I'm this garden now. This is just temporary, you know, but that fire's still roaring inside of me. Just needs rest at the minute. So, you know, on your spiritual awakening path, yes, you need rest. You know, once you strike that match and you light that fire inside of you and you choose the directions that you're going to go, and, you know, you plant those new seeds, because you're fed up of being in this. You don't want to be in this. That's chaos when you're in that. No, you want the sun. You want a new, fresh rose garden. Yeah, that fire, it's always lit. It might sort of simmer for a bit when you're under the weather, when there's chaos, you know, because although you've come through the chaos, we're still in the chaos. But in this chaos, you feel more calm. You feel that fire simmered. You know, it's not roaring, but it's just the right what's the word? Raw. Yeah, it's there, you know, it's under the surface all the time. So you'll never go back to this garden, the sunflowers with no sun. No. But there will be times on your journey, vision quest, that you do have to rest, and you have to let that fire just chill for a bit, they're saying. Yeah. You don't pour water over this fire. No. You just let it burn organically, they're saying. That flame. I know where they're going with this, because I'm a twin flame. Yeah. That flame inside me is being lit, you know. I lit that match when I made this decision to water my garden, to heal my shadows, to go through my 7 stages of awakening. I struck that match to light my fire, to reignite my twin flame. And the flame inside of me, you know. I made that decision. I could have stayed there. I did not want to stay there. There's too much chaos staying there. Now again, the chaos will always, you know, be around us. But when you've lit that match and you've got this eternal flame, now I could break out into a song, but I don't think my voice will let me today. Yeah, eternal flame, eternal, what's that song? You get the song I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's another thing that my twin flame ignited in me. Songs, telepathy, messages. There's nothing that can put this fire out. Yeah, you can get a little bit tired, a bit depleted when you're going through the upgrades, when you're pushing through more heals to wounds to heal. Yeah, you know. But yeah, you can never go backwards. You know, I'm speaking backwards today. No, you can't go back. Once this flame's lit, it's that fire that can never go out. And you'll never go back to this. No. There'll be times you feel a bit, but that's part of this journey, you know. You're going through upgrades. Your human body is holding more light. Your human body So say this is the human body, depleted, before you start your vision quest, before you go into this chaos of the awakening. This is yours. Yeah, this is mine and your human body. So it's carbon body. So it's lower density. It's ego. It's traumas. It's wounds. It's lower consciousness. These are the layers that you have to go through. So you're raising in consciousness. First, you know, to raise that consciousness, these sunflowers need light. They need love. They need self-care. They need balance. They need healing. Those wounds, those traumas, those ancestral wounds also. Yeah, somewhere along here, my ancestors popped in. And I thought, as if I ain't got enough chaos going on, healing my wounds, my traumas. No. They knew that my fire was strong enough and it was burning, you know, strong enough and it was fierce. At that point, it was full on flame. They knew it was strong enough to burn through their wounds and their traumas. And balance, you know, the shadows of my ancestors. And I was the one that was chosen at the beginning of time. You know, ancient soul. I'm a medicine woman, medicine healer. That's the shaman in me. That's that multi-dimensional fractal that's returned to me. It's one of the very at the beginning. So it was like, it was my twin flame awakening that woke me up to all these multi-dimensional parts of myself. And then the shaman. I just wanted to sage everything and drum in, and yes, all the shaman remembrance was returning. That was pretty much really, really early doors of one of my multidimensional fractals returning back to me. Was the medicine healer I was in another past life. And this vision quest, you know, opened all that knowing back up for me. But first I had to nourish, I had to self-care, I had to heal, I had to go into the traumas, I had to walk through that fire to become the fire I am today. Yeah. I had to find the calm in this chaos. So I know life's no picnic, you know. Life's no rose cat. I don't know, you know, tulips or whatever these flowers are. No. We know life can get us down. We know that life, lower density energy, can make us feel depleted, exhausted. But when you know that, you've took this vision quest and you've moved through your chaos, you've alchemised in the chaos. You know, so the fire alchemises, burns through everything that you no longer need, that's stopping you, you know, on this vision quest. I'm an ancient soul that was chosen by the ancestors to break down all, burn away, the saying, burn away all that they could not burn away. I was the soul strong enough to burn through anything that was holding our bloodline back and the generations to come. So the generations to come will never feel this depletion. They'll have this garden, they'll have the sun, because I burn all of that away. For my ancestors, for myself, for my mother, for my nana, for my... and so on and so on and so on. So yes, I'm under the weather. Yes, I'm a bit depleted. But I will never be this sunflower fully depleted. Never again. Got too much fire burning inside of me. I'll alchemise it all. Anything that comes towards me, I'll alchemise it. I'll bang right through it. I've done it 8 years, 7 stages of awakening. Not only for myself, but for my ancestors. I've alchemised. I've become the alchemist I always was. The medicine healer I always was. The Lemurian I always was. And the high priestess of the rose path I always was. Become that garden, that sun. Found the sun. That's this journey, you know. You go from depleted to finding your sun. I'm going to stop this here because it's 30 minutes. I'm going to come on and do a part 2 because I'm feeling there's more to this journey. In fact, I know there's more to this journey. So we're going from depleted, you know, to choosing our directions. When we start this, waking up that there's chaos going on around us. And then we set off on our vision quest. And we become the alchemist. And we burn right through anything that's in our way. I feel like there's another reading in this. I'm really enjoying these cards today. Okay. Oh, not use them. So shall we back on for part 2 of the vision quest?